With literally the World Cup being tomorrow, it is time to do my final World Cup prediction video, Knockout Edition. If you guys want to check out my World Cup group stage video, just go check it out now right before this, and then watch this video. This video will be just a quick overall summary of what I think, not a summary about each team, as I did that in the group stage video. Canada, congratulations, they made it to the round of 32. But now they have to have a insane rival, as they got third place and they have to go against Group E first place winner Germany, and I think Germany will win 3-1. Now here we have France versus Iran, and I do think France will win 4-0 against Iran in the round of 32, and France goes through as expected though. Now this game is very interesting, Mexico versus Bosnia, and I do think this will be too close for Mexico, but they will still get the victory 2-1. This next game right here is a very good game, Japan versus Brazil. Although I feel like this game could even be closer, could even go to penalties. Right here I do think Japan will win 1-0, as Japan are just looking very good. And now we literally have the same exact match from the 2018 World Cup, Colombia versus England. And I do think it's going to have a very similar outcome, 1-1 after extra time as well, and go to penalties, and England will be victorious. And now here, Austria's run in the World Cup is going to have to end short, as I love Ralf Rangnick's project with Austria, and it's working very well, but against the Spain, who is a top-heavy favorite, they just have no shot at it, and they're going to lose 3-0. Both potential dark horses for this World Cup, Turkey and Norway, will be absolute cinema on June 30th for match 81 of this World Cup. I do think Turkey will just get the best out of Norway, as I feel like Norway is kind of still being overhyped. I mean, I've seen some of those photos of them struggling in the heat, while Turkey are used to this heat as they live more south. Here, a very weird matchup I was not expecting to see in the knockouts, Belgium versus Saudi Arabia. And look, it's not Belgium's golden year, but I do think they can still defeat a poor Saudi Arabia. Both teams are unfortunate to be in this matchup, as one of them have to leave early, as they are predicted to go far into this World Cup. First, I was thinking, as you could see, Netherlands 0-0 and win on penalties, but now I'm thinking maybe Morocco could just win 1-0, and I do think Morocco will win 1-0. Now, whoever wins this game will be my dark horse of this tournament. Ecuador versus Senegal, and I do think Senegal will win 1-0 here after a very tight altercation. Ecuador's defense slipped up once, and then Senegal capitalized in the second half. And I just don't think Ecuador's offense will do a lot in this game, and Senegal will just keep that 1-0 victory and go through against Morocco. A very cool game here, Czechia versus Ivory Coast. And I do think Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, however you call it, will be victorious. I do think Ivory Coast could win this match 2-1. Czechia will have a very good group stage, but then when it comes to the knockouts, I don't think they will perform, and Ivory Coast are looking pretty decent. Just a very difficult group for them, with Ecuador and Germany, and as well as Curacao. Here, I'm sorry, Algeria, yes, they have defeated the Netherlands in a friendly, but I don't think that means anything. Croatia will win 4-1 in a dominating game. Here we have the Rio de la Plata derby, and I do think Uruguay are not looking good for this World Cup, and Argentina will be victorious with a 2-0 victory over Uruguay. Here, United States 3, Egypt 1 on July 3rd here, the day before July 4th, the 250th anniversary of the United States, and I do think the U.S. will win 3-1 on this eve before 250. And now Switzerland versus Sweden. I think it will be ending in 2-1, as Switzerland is just a very good team, and in the past few tournaments, they have gone to the knockouts every single time, which is quite impressive for such a tiny country like Switzerland. Here, Sweden, they're looking way better under Graham Potter, but not that good enough to defeat a strong Switzerland side. I mean, they just lost 3-1 to Norway, looking completely lost in that game. So, I think Switzerland will have an easy victory. Although the score looks close, they will have a dominating game. And honestly, the only word I have for Portugal versus Ghana is just dominated by Portugal, and Ghana are just going to go back home. At least they made it to the knockouts, but unfortunately for Ghana, the only thing they showed was their 1-1 tie to England, and then defeating Panama, and then going home. Now time for the round of 16, already starting off with the banger, Germany versus France. Although Germany are pretty good, they're not as good as France. I mean, France is just world-class level. 3-1 France. Let's get it. Oh, unfortunate for Mexico here. They have to get Japan. They would have definitely rather like get Croatia or England or something. I honestly think that Mexico could beat England in the potential round of 16 in the Azteca Stadium. But I would have predicted England to lose to Mexico there. But Japan is better than England. And Japan is one of the heavy favorites for me to go far. Maybe not win, but go far. But this is not England. This is Japan. A way better squad, in my opinion. Japan are going to go far, in my opinion, I think. If they could get the perfect opponents that are at their level, they could go through very far. And here, Mexico are going to be playing in Houston, so it's pretty much their home stadium as well, as there's many Mexicans there. And they will be the home side as things stand right here. But Japan, I see it's going to play out. They're going to get 1 goal in the first half, and then in the second half to close out the game, and Mexico will lose 2-0. But then here, yeah, wrap it up. England, go home. It's not coming home this year, especially with this kind of squad, with all these players that England's leaving out. Here, I think Spain will have a comfortable 3-1 victory against England. Very interesting matchup here, but I do think Turkey will win 2-1. And just looking at Belgium and my predictions over the time, I haven't thought Belgium is going to do good at all in this tournament, even losing in the round of 32 to South Korea, and I still do see that. And that would be one of my biggest upsets, but here, Belgium got a different path now. As I've seen throughout the months, teams have changed a little bit, and I do think Turkey will have a comfortable win against Belgium. Now here as well is another last minute change up with my prediction. It's going to be Senegal versus Morocco, and this is insane. I mean, it's a rematch of the AFCON where Senegal won and then Morocco won by email. First ever email AFCON champs, but Senegal here, they are going to tie 1-1 with Morocco in a last minute goal, and then eventually Senegal would win on penalties. Now here, a very interesting game to watch as well. Cote d'Ivoire, or Ivory Coast, however you guys say it, versus Croatia. Here, honestly, Ivory Coast could start off with a very quick goal, in my opinion. It would be 1-0 until the second half. And then the second half, the story changes where Croatia scores 3 goals. And Croatia will win 3-1 against Cote d'Ivoire. On to the next game, which is... oh, yeah. United States versus Argentina. Sunyon. USA, I'm sorry here, but there's no shot. It is going to be 3-0 Argentina. No words. Next game. Now here we have the rematch of the round of 16 of the last World Cup, Switzerland versus Portugal, where Gonçalves Ramos got a hat-trick replacing Ronaldo while Ronaldo was on the bench. But here this will be a different story, but not completely different. Switzerland will lose this game, but not get decimated 6-1. It's going to be 2-4 for Portugal, and it will be a very fun game to watch if you're neutral, not so fun to watch if you're Swiss, but an amazing game if you're Portuguese, or just overall supporting Ronaldo. What a game to start off the quarterfinals. Again, another beautiful game here. France versus Japan, and here Japan's wonderful run ends here in the quarterfinals, respectively, just losing on penalties after a 1-1 game. Is it me, or do you guys think that Spain is having a very easy run right now into this World Cup knockout stage? Because right now, this is another easy opponent for Spain. I mean, they beat them in the qualifiers like 6-0 or something like that, and I think Spain will have another comfortable 3-0 victory. Oh man, this is a wonderful game. Again, Senegal will win 2-1 against Croatia. I don't think Croatia is going to have that spark again to keep on going into the semifinals for a third time in a row. That's very impressive for such a small country, and it's going to have to end with another small country going through, and that would be Senegal, because they're just looking super strong in this World Cup. I don't see Croatia defeating them. Senegal will win 2-1. Oh my gosh. The 100th game of the World Cup will be the projected Argentina versus Portugal, and here, as you guys could see, it is going to be 2-2, and Argentina will just win on penalties, as I think Emi Martinez has solidified himself as a penalty GOAT for Argentina, at least. and he will prove it again here in the penalty shootout against Portugal, where Argentina will go to another semifinals. And right here, what a game we have. The first semifinal game of the 2026 World Cup in North America will be France versus Spain. And this time, France will finally get revenge for the Euros and the Nations League games and be victorious 3-2 in a wonderful game. I'm unsure if this would go into extra time or just 3-2 full time, but still, the overall score will be 3-2. After a wonderful match here, and France will go to the back-to-back-to-back. And oh man, African football is on the rise. I'm telling you, Senegal in the semifinals, but this is where the journey will end. Not fully though, because they still have the bronze third place game to play the day before the World Cup final, but Senegal will lose 2-0 against Argentina. They won't be able to score any goals against this Argentinian side, but Argentina will against the Senegalese side. A wonderful run from Senegal, ended by a top-class team. I know you guys are all anticipating that final winner, but we still have to analyze the third-place match. And here you guys can see the score. You guys would have to agree with this. Spain would win 3-1. I know Spain really wanted that World Cup. They wanted to clinch that World Cup after 16 years again, waiting for so long, having all these failures at the World Cup ever since their victory. 2014 failed, 2018 horrible run, 2022 even more humiliating run, and they will finally get third place and slowly go back up. Win 3-1 against Senegal. What a run from Senegal. Fourth place again for an African team at another World Cup once again. You guys thought you were going to get the winner like that? No. I'm about to reveal it though. In 3, 2, 1, the winner is France. And yes, the final score of this World Cup final will be France 3, Argentina 1. A very different story from the previous World Cup final. Not as many goals, but there will be a clear dominant figure in this final, and that will be France. And the final score will be 3-1 France. And that is it for all my predictions for this World Cup. I'm done with all the predictions for the World Cup. And now, all I have to do is just enjoy the World Cup and see how close my predictions were. I will do a full prediction review at the end of the World Cup, at the end of July. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and have a good World Cup. And now, I'm going to go and enjoy the World Cup. Won't be releasing any more football content until after the World Cup, and will only be posting aviation and travel related content. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.